I don't think I need any introductions for the final review of this, but hey everyone, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we're looking at the final episode of ReZero, at least this season, episode 25, and that was awesome. Like very very fitting for a final episode of a season in general. I mean, I was expecting so many different things that could have happened, and what ends up occurring from this is just this awe-inspiring episode that it left me satisfied. It didn't need to do anything further in the sense of, yeah, it has questions, it has things that we could go further into. It can do another season, it could do three more seasons from what I hear, multiple seasons, whatever. But what we got here is an episode that if it took a year for more ReZero to come out, I'd be perfectly fine. If it took two, I'd be okay, because it was just that freaking good. Honestly, this is my actual favorite anime of all time from now on. It actually beat Clannad. Clannad used to be my top spot. ReZero gets it. Clannad dropped to two, unfortunately. That's just how it is. ReZero is probably one of the best things I've seen in anime in a long time. I mean, it's that good. So with usually how I do my final season reviews and stuff like that, or series reviews, excuse me, I always have it where I just have the one image. I'm just going to talk about what happened with the episode overall. You will actually go and see the episode. You go see the stuff that happened. You already know what happened. I just want to talk about everything in general, like the episode itself. I also want to talk about the whole series, graphics, etc. The whole nine. Anyways, though, this episode was pretty good. We start off with essentially the Julius fight, where we had Julius and Subaru still fighting Betelgeuse, and that climaxed into a very interesting fight. I mean, it was honestly where I was wondering how Subaru, who got infected again from Betelgeuse when his possession ability, was going to handle that. And luckily, Subaru already thought ahead, apparently. He right away used the return by death phrase, just saying that out loud. And we got to hear for the first time, to tell his voice most likely, saying you're not the one to Betelgeuse, because Betelgeuse was inside his body. Thus, I guess she was able to expel it out by using her power. And so that was interesting. I really liked that. And it looked like Betelgeuse died there. So, I mean, at least it looked like a win-win. But then we find out that apparently there was some really bad news where one of the merchants was still a traitor to the witches cult and activated a bomb of sorts on Amelia's caravan. So Subaru and Oscar had to go off and try to get there as fast as they could to make sure they got rid of the bomb. And what's pretty funny about this actually was the sequence of events where Betelgeuse was not dead. He was actually still alive. He somehow used some wicked magic to make himself into just essentially a walking spirit, and it was really, really creepy. I mean, he looked like a spider. His face, his eyeballs were all missing. It was really disturbing. But it was really good. They Subaru did some stuff to him, fought him off for the most part using the best of his own abilities, and was able to vanquish him. A little bit weak, I want to say, in how they vanquished him, a little bit. I mean, I think it was kind of like, they could have did a little bit stronger on that. Probably my only complaint with the episode. But honestly, it was okay. I mean, it didn't matter for that most, but it was still awesome scene nonetheless. He finally does catch up with Amelia's caravan and is able to rip the boards out in a very cool manner, by the way, which the whole time Amelia's just thinking about Subaru. So, I mean, when he jumps in all badass looking, that was funny as hell. And, he actually tells her he loves her, which was really cool, and then runs off with Petarash. And they go off in the distance. They're able to take the bomb. They put it into the white whale, like carcass that it had, like half. I think it was like the half part of the white whale, and are lucky to have survived the explosion. Now, what's really cool about this is then, the scene that you see right here, the image I'm going to probably use both for my thumbnail and also this review, is the fact that they actually have a whole maybe 12 minutes, 13 minutes just devoted on Amelia and Subaru. And what's really cool is that during this whole sequence, we see a lot of flashbacks, but more so, we see Subaru talking to Amelia. I mean, literally talking to Amelia. And nothing, nothing corny about how he's talking to her, nothing, over-exaggerated. He tells her like how it is, he explains to her that he loves her very deeply and he really cares about her. And overall, I mean, just the whole sequence of this whole thing of confession was so great because, she says, oh, I'm not perfect. I'm a half elf. People despise me. They don't like me. I have selfish reasons for wanting to rule the kingdom, etc. And he goes, yeah, I don't care. He goes, I don't care. I still love you. I'll show you that I want to be your strength, and I will be there a 2,000-fold or 1,000-fold, I believe he said. And what I really loved about it was that, she cried and he was just looking at her and she cried the whole time saying that, I guess she's so used to not being loved by people that, it's something that she was so happy to hear, that she was loved by someone, but someone that she cared about too herself. And what's nice is that you don't have her really per se say that she loves him. You have her express that. And I think when you do that with someone that you really care for, it works like that sometimes, where you don't have to say the words. If your actions are truly there, that right there shows it. I mean, it's something that's very nice, because again, Amelia says it her best herself. She's still new to a lot of things. She's not worldly. She doesn't understand certain concepts. She says strange things. We've seen this from the very gate. I mean, how she reacts to some of his jokes, and how she reacts to some of his, like, playful antics towards her, and his affection towards her. She doesn't fully get that, and she never has. So it's funny, because this fits her character so well to see how her react this way. Now, overall, let's just say this episode was phenomenal nonetheless. That one, like I said, the only part that I had issue with, Betelgeuse, how he died the second time, was a little weak to me, but everything else was perfectly fine. I think that it did not have a cliffhanger. I was surprised. I think everyone in the community that was watching this was like, oh, this is going to have a horrible cliffhanger. This is going to be like something that you're going to... No, it ends on such a great note. And the title alone of the episode, I believe, is That's What This Is All About. And I think that is so fitting, because this is about romance. This is about one love, and how he's trying to go and show it to her. And I mean, it's always been something that, the action's there, the fantasy element's there, but Super has always done this for Amelia. It's from the gate. And I think people forget about that, seeing the kind of selfish antics he has. But even he tells her that even with his selfishness, he's still doing it for her, even if it is for himself also. And I think that is perfectly fine. I mean, that's something that is just how human beings work in general. Very human emotions for both characters. Let's talk now about ReZero, the whole series, real fast. I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time. I could spend probably hours talking about it. Graphically, ReZero is phenomenal. White Fox really shot it out of the park with this. All these characters, all the colors, are the art. Animation is just top notch. You could tell that this was something that was worked on and shown love to people. I mean, this was something that people resonated with, and there was a reason behind that. And I'll talk about it more probably in the Otaku A-Team, so definitely go check that out. I mean, I have the link for the Otaku A-Team down below in my description. Go check it out, because we're going to be talking about the final episode there, so you'll hear me talk more about the stuff like that. I said the graphics, the story-wise, I love the story from ReZero. Yeah, there was some cliche here and there, some cliche elements. There were some elements that were partially weaker here and there with story elements. But overall, very, very strong. I mean, no show is infallible, and the thing is that this show did a very, very good job, despite its kind of weak flaws sometimes with one or two episodes here and there, and some story elements that we don't get full details with, that, you want more out of it, but... Like I said, this episode kind of just makes it where you don't need more. That's a very cool thing. I liked it. Soundtrack. I mean, honestly, this ReZero had a great soundtrack. I love the opening, closing. I especially love the ending. I think the closing song was the best one. I mean, I think everyone knew it, because of the fact that they even used it on the last episode. I mean, that shows how popular it was. I mean, honestly, it was a great soundtrack. Voice acting wise was stellar as well. I mean, just the talent that these characters were given is awesome. I mean, they were conveyed so well by their voice actors and actresses equally. Like even Kirito, the guy who voiced Kirito, I apologize, I don't know his name off the top of my head, who did the voice of Betelgeuse. That seemed like something out of someone's comfort zone, to do a character so odd and weird, and just he handled it so well that it was like that role was made for him, which is really kind of cool. But honestly, like, I could watch the show a million times. I can't wait to buy this. Like, when this comes out, there could be limited editions. I will find the way to get the money to buy this, just some way, if there's a limited edition for this. I don't care how much it is. I really will buy it somehow, because honestly, this is one of those shows that I want to own and rewatch over the course of several years. I will watch it again probably a couple times. Just alone. So I really am. I'm saying this right now. This is probably one of the coolest anime I've seen of all time, and for me, my top anime now of all time. That's why if I had to review ReZero, I mean, this shouldn't be a surprise, but if I had to review it A through F, A+, hands down. This is a 10 out of 10 on Mal. This is something that I feel deserves the moniker of being a perfect anime, because of how it handles even the season finale, or the series finale. If this doesn't get a season 2, it's great. It was that great. So overall, guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you enjoyed ReZero. I mean, I think a lot of people are going to miss it airing every Sunday, but, you know, hopefully we get more stuff in the future for it. I presume it's not going to die out because of the fans loving the show so much. As always, if you love this review, hit the like button, subscribe, share my video, show the love to my channel if you can. I will talk to y'all later. Until our paths cross again in the next review, have a great, blessed day, everyone. Bye-bye.